like to cook or you don't like to cook or you never cook, everybody eats. So we're going to show you a really great, easy recipe. How many of you like recipes that are super easy to make with ingredients you probably have in your pantry already? That's the kind of recipes that Pampered Chef is known for today. We've done studies and we found out that our customers want a recipe that'll be done in how many minutes do you think?
15.
Well, let's not go frickin' 15. How about 30 minutes? 30 minutes. 30 minutes or less, and it must have
question.
and 9 ingredients or less. So we're going to make a recipe that will be done in about 20 minutes. So for those of you who didn't get to meet me before, I'm Marna. I came over from Linwood. I want to thank Katrina again for having me over. Let me do a little bit of paperwork with you, and then we're going to get right to the cooking. So first of all, I gave everyone a catalog. And the catalog is yours to keep if you would like it. A couple of reasons to take it. My name and phone number is on the back of it. So if you don't have a consultant you work with, I would love to be your consultant, okay? I always send in orders pretty much every day. If you ever need something down the road, I'd love to have you give me a quick call. How many of you use Facebook? Are all of you Facebook people? If you could find me on Facebook, because my name is really easy to find, Marna Ross, and friend me, then you'll be able to find my page, which is called Marna's Kitchen. I post recipes, I post only online specials. So would you make yourselves a mental note to find me and friend me on Facebook? So the recipe we're going to make isn't going to take very long. So there's only 2 rules of the party. Number 1, you must sit back and relax. We're not going to be here all night. If you have to get scooting, as soon as I'm done cooking, you tell me, I've got to get going. I can take care of you. You can be out the door. Maybe you've got kids or husband at home and you need to get home. Or maybe you've got kids and husband at home and you freaking want to be anywhere but home. And then I see a bottle of booze back there. We could hang out for a while. Because I always tell my husband the party lasts like 4 hours. So, even though then I can go shopping or go visit friends or what have you. And then the other rule is if you have a product that I show and you love it, will you feel free to tell everybody, oh my gosh, I've got that, I use it, it's great, it's in my, if you have it, you never use it, it's in the box, you don't like it, please be quiet, no one cares. And then we can talk about those problems later. We've got our product reader, and inside your catalog there was also a order form. Could somebody hold that up and show everybody the order form? That's it, Carrie. Thank you, honey. If you decide to get something, that's what we'll use to place an order. But as I'm demoing tonight, what I'd love you to do is jot down products that you see that you sort of kind of like. Because at the end of the party, I'm going to ask all of you, hey, what was one thing that you saw tonight that you liked, okay? All right. I've got our soup started, and I've got it cooking. So I'm going to quickly jump ahead in my recipe and get my cans of broth open. We're going to make what's called a lazy lasagna chili. So this is a soup that you can throw together when you get home from work. How many of you work full-time? All right, so you know the drill. Nobody wants to cook a roast when they get home from work, but you want to have something other than candy like Angela's eating right now. So you want to have a quick, easy meal. This is what we're going to do. So how many of you have our can opener? All right, and Christy, what makes it great? What do you love about it?
I just love the way that the lid comes off, and you can just pinch that little lid that comes right off the top. And
all right.
Yeah.
So this is called an smooth edge can opener, right? And what this does, you just put it on the top. Was there a little bit of a learning curve for any of you to,
yes,
because
I
always
go
you're,
backwards. No, I was expecting it just to pop off, and then I'm like, oh, I have to twist it backwards.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have
There's
to.
no reverse on there.
Right. You turn it to the right, and that locks it on. Right. You turn it. It takes the lid off. It's really simple to use. It's really easy too. And then you turn it to the left, and then there's a little pincher here, and that's what lifts the lid off. And what it does is basically breaks the glue seal. So you don't have any sharp edge on the can lid, right? And you have no sharp edge on the can. I know, some part is a please work, but it doesn't.
It's really fun too to give your kids and tell them that you bet them that they can't open it. You always win. Because my kids can never use it.
No. Cruel. All right, so 2 cans of beef broth are going in here, and I'll tell you about this vessel that we're using in a minute. I'm going to tell you what I've got in here too. But I just wanted to get something in there because I had that heating on the stove. So I just want to show you too. One of the benefits first, obviously, is the no sharp edge. How many of you are recyclers? How many of you are saving the earth 1 can at a time? So when you have this smooth edge can, you don't have to worry about when you put it out in the recycle bin. Because that was always one of my biggest worries with that really sharp lid, especially when my kids were younger. I almost like gift wrapped them. I would put paper towel and tape them and put them out in the trash. Another benefit is that you can put the lid on and reseal the can pretty much and throw it in the fridge, and you can store in cans today 10 days, 7 days. It used to be that, your grandma said, hey, you can't store in cans because it would turn your food bad, right? They used to be made out of tin. And especially with an acid-based food, it would turn them bad. Today, they're just made out of aluminum and they can be stored in. And the third benefit is this: there is no food on this plate. I challenge you, go home and look at any other can opener. It is full of dog food, cat food, whatever you've opened in your lifetime is on there. So think about getting the smooth edge can opener. It's in my top 10 sell. All right, we're also going to put in that pot that we're going to talk about in a minute some pasta sauce, a whole jar of pasta sauce. Your choice, what kind or flavor.
Chili.
It's going to be a chili. It's called a lazy lasagna chili. So it almost tastes like spaghetti, like lasagna, really, right? All right, we'll put some water in there. And we're going to bring that up to a boil. So while it's boiling, let me just talk to you about a couple things that I've already done. First of all, I put a pound of Italian sweet sausage in here. Just the links, and I just squeezed it out of the links. But somebody has this mix and shop. Who can testify on this? Kathy, what's it good for?
Oh, it breaks up your burger, breaks up sausage. It looks good for everything.
Chicken breast. It'll cut right through.
It'll cut through cooked chicken breast, like cooked turkey, cooked sausage like I used today. But honest to goodness, of all the things that came out, this came out 3 years ago, and I thought, who is ever going to buy this thing? I thought Pampered Chef had lost their minds. Because honestly, I have spatulas, I've got spoons, and I bet you guys do too. I'm not kidding. You have to have this because it'll break your hamburger up as fine as like Taco Bell's meat. That could be cat food or cat food meat. I don't know what it is, but it's very, very fine. Just think about it. And so you want to get yourself a mix and chop. And that brings me to another product that I sell right along with the mix and chop, and that's this product. And this is called a micro cooker. This is the large one. So, who you use this, Kay?
Yeah, every day.
In the microwave. And what do you make?
Yeah, I got 3 of them. I have.
All right, Kay's an overachiever. She's got 3. Thank you, Kay.
I got 3 different kind of homes too.
Oh,
So I
oh,
put
3
one in
homes.
The trailer, one in the fifth wheel, one in my house.
Good deal.
No, I got 3 at home too.
If everyone just buy one, you don't have to buy 3, just buy one. All right, but Kay, what's one thing you make in here, girlfriend?
Every day I make oatmeal.
It doesn't work
I
perfectly?
got the smaller one and I make my oatmeal
All right.
every morning.
Can you find the micro cookers, Miss Page Finder, for me, please?
Yes, ma'am. The micro cookers are on page 8.
Page 8. You make what?
Broccoli and almost every day.
Okay.
Not broccoli.
Steamed broccoli. So these are designed specifically for the microwave. This is the large 2-quart size, and I also have a 1-quart size, and I bet the 1 quart is the one that Kay uses for her oatmeal.
Right.
If you have kids, that is the most perfect thing for ramen noodles, heating up a can of soup, doing a can of SpaghettiOs. A couple things. First of all, it stays cool in your microwave because it's made out of a material that is microwave safe. So just be really careful about putting plastics in the microwave because a lot of them are not microwave safe. I've seen people put Cool Whip containers and all that kind of thing. Totally not safe. But this is. Now this comes in blue and black. And I'm going to tell you 3 things that you're going to use it for right away. First of all, like Katrina said, you're going to steam veggies in here. Do you know how many minutes you steam? How many? When you do your
3 to 4.
Yep, I do. I usually tell people 4 minutes. You fill it up with whatever veg you want, and I need you to put in only this much milk or water, just about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, because that's critical. Because if you put too much water in, you're not going to create your steam quickly. If you put a little bit of water, steams the vegetables. 4 minutes, you're done. I want to tell you about a really easy side dish. A bag of baby carrots, throw in here. Steam them for your 4 to 5. Open it up, drain them off, and look at the drain holes. You drain all that off. Throw a squirt of honey in and put some of that dill mix that I told you about and shake it. You have these honey dill carrots. It's the most delicious side dish ever. It's low in calories. So the second thing you're going to use this for is to make your garlic smashed potatoes or just smashed potatoes. How many of you have ever gone to Uno's and had the little tray of those smashed yummy potatoes? So take your red skin potatoes and cube them, put them in here, and then I want you to put milk in, not water, but milk, and let those in the microwave for 10 minutes. Bring them out, and now you don't have to drain them because the milk's going to become part of the mashed potatoes. Bring in this is called a new mix and chunk. Mash them all up, and then you need to add some fat. You can put in cream cheese, sour cream, butter, what have you. You can put some seasonings in them. If you want to jazz them up, put some cheese and some bacon, real bacon and green onions. You have the most delicious side dish of potatoes done in 10 minutes. Because that's the kind of cooking that I do. You know, the way I learned to cook, I bet you guys did too, everything was on the stove and in the oven in pots and pans, and 2 hours later, and like halfway through you're going, oh, this wasn't a good idea. Let's have candy for dinner. You know, but I want to show you how to do quick and easy. And then the third thing that you just are gonna love is cooking your hamburger in here. Has anybody tried cooking their hamburger in the microwave?
I've done that.
All right, so let's say you're making, some nachos or sloppy joes or something you need a pounder burger. Where do you normally cook your hamburger? Where do you normally cook it, Angela?
Yeah, stove.
On the stove, on a frying pan, right? And you gotta watch it because you don't want it to get burned. And all you're really doing is getting the pink out of the meat. You know, the recipe says brown the hamburger till the pink is gone. I challenge you to just get this, take your pound of burger, put your lid on it, throw it in the microwave, and in 4 minutes time, the whole pound is cooked. You're gonna shake out the fat, and now you're gonna bring in this, and you break it up, and you've got your pound of burger cooked. It's ready to put your sauce in, your, whatever.
It doesn't
Um,
get tough?
It does not. I promise you it does not. And let's just say you're crazy busy like me. Where might your hamburger be at 5:30? In the freezer, correct. How many of you have taken the pound of burger and you put it in the fry pan, it's frozen, you gotta cook one side, then you flip it, you're scraping it, you're going like this.
That's why I use that chopper
that
thing for, because I'm trying to get it a bacon
No.
frozen.
But I will tell you that you can put a pound of frozen burger in here and it'll be done in 8 to 9 minutes. So it's a great time saver. If you ever have done Weight Watchers, a Weight Watchers trick is after you brown the hamburger, you put hot water on it to get all of the fat. If you also take off all the flavor. I learned all these tricks. I've been to Weight Watchers 3 times. An amazing, amazing result. I've lost an incredible $450. So thank you. So good news is that this is free. We're going to give all of you one because we really want you to try it out and see if you don't love it. Everyone will get one for free when they spend $75. Okay, so that's going to be your bonus tonight.
So quick question on that.
Yes,
Would it cook
please.
turkey the same way?
Ground turkey, it will. It will.
Okay.
And then this is what's critical for ground turkey because there's not a whole lot of fat in ground turkey. So this helps it breaks it up very quickly. We got to put a few veggies in here. So we're going to put an onion in, or at least part of an onion. I want to show you a fairly new product. This just came out September 1. So I want to show you how this works. This is called a spiral and slice. So you take an onion and you put it in. And you put this on the top. And be prepared to be amazed. See how it's just coming out in little onion ribbons almost? How many of you ever seen those onion straws that you get on burgers and things? Okay, so you would do your onion like this, dredge it in a little flour, and then put that in hot oil, and you would have those onion straws. This is also just a great way to just get it, because it divides it all up. You don't have to break it all apart. It does it for you automatically. So we're going to put some onion in our soup, and I can cut it down, or I want to show you my manual food processor. So let me show you this. And how many of you, if I talk about my food chopper, and I go like this, you know what tool I'm talking about, right? Do you have that one, Jan?
I do, yes.
All right, have you used it in the last 20 years?
No.
Okay, fine. Has anyone used it in the last 20 years? Thank you. Katrina, what have you used it for?
We use it for potatoes all the time.
So chopping
We make,
potatoes.
Hash browns.
All right, so you're chopping up potatoes with your food chopper. It's been around for 30-some years. We call it a classic product because we've had it in our line since we were founded. But this is a newer product. It's called a manual food processor. I want to show you. There's just a blade, and see how it's got 3 blades that are different levels? That's really important because it's going to kick the food up as you're chopping. This has a 3-cup capacity. So how many of you have ever made like maybe a fresh salsa or a tuna salad for sandwiches or anything like that? This you can put all of your ingredients in and then just with a few pumps. And you can put chunks of onion in here. I just happen to have it sliced up. But it'll completely chop it up for you. Super easy to use and super easy to clean. So what I want to tell you about cleaning this is when you put it in the dishwasher, what I'd love for you to do is put this on the top rack and then put this over it. Why? Because you know what, this is super, super sharp. Now just imagine you live at my house with a husband who's like marginally smart. Where might he put this in the dishwasher?
Silverware.
That would be a correct statement. In the silverware tray, so I'm like trying to pull it out, you know, gingerly. So just put it in the top rack. This cannot be washed in the dishwasher, nor should it be stuck in water. You just kind of wipe it off. This has got your mechanism in it. Does anybody have this? You're going to love it. I promise you. How many of you, like I said, made tuna salad sandwiches? So I used to have to get out a cutting board, and I used to have to, like, you know, chop up the onion and the celery and all that. So today, girls, I put the onion and the celery, the tuna, and the mayo all in here. Give it about 5 pops. It's all chopped, ready to go. So that's called our manual food processor. we're gonna put a little bit of zucchini in that soup. So I'm gonna use my simple slicer for that. And this was on Christy's list. I heard her saying that you
It's on the
came
list, yes.
on the perpetual list, because everybody always has a list in their head of things that they'll get at the next party. So let me show you this. What kinds of things do you guys slice? Think of vegetables that you might slice in your kitchen. What's one thing, Kathy? Potatoes. Angela, what might you slice?
Carrots.
Carrots. Jim?
Peppers.
Cucumbers.
Tomatoes.
Very good. All of those things. Onions. This will adjust for 3 different settings. This is the lock position, and then just with a click of your thumb, it'll make it thicker. So I want to show you how this works. When you've got a long veg like this, you know, you can start out just using it without my food holder. But this is the #1 setting. See how nice and paper thin that is? You know how great that is to get, you know, onion really thin, or if I'm going to make my potato chips, I'm going to use that thin setting. #2 is a little bit thicker. #3 is great for tomatoes and onions because it gets you about 1/4 inch thickness. So let's show you how to use this so that you're perfectly safe, you never can cut yourself. You put the food holder on. And then I just drop pieces of zucchini down in here like this. See if I can get one more in here. Put this on. I'll go to #2, make them a little thicker. Tuck them on yourselves, see? Turn off the tape, Patty. Anybody can sell, a trained monkey could do this. All right, so there's all of our slices of zucchini. But what's really important about this is that they are all cut the same thickness, right? So when you're cooking things, you know, if you take a knife, you know, you never know if you're going to get them all the same thickness. Where's your dog tonight? Because I've just spilled some on you.
You don't want my dog down here. At least my mom doesn't want my dog down here.
All right. Another ingredient we're going to put in here is some pasta.
And my dog can't eat that.
No?
She'd be sick.
Oh,
And you'll be here at 3 in the morning with her.
I don't want to be here at 3 in the morning with it. So we're just going to go ahead, and we've got the pasta in here, we've got sausage in here, we've got the zucchini and some onion, and we'll put the lid on, and I will just let that cook down. A few more ingredients, and we've got soup. So I'm thinking I shouldn't waste this zucchini, so I'm going to do the rest of this. So let's start to talk about the rock crack, the piece that I've got on the stove. Has anybody seen it before? I bet you haven't, because it's fairly new. Does that look familiar to anybody? All right, so let me tell you about what we've done, and it's a pretty amazing story. All right, so all of you know about stoneware, right? So with a stone, you cannot put a stone on the stovetop, right? You can't put a stone under the broiler. You can't put a stone on the grill. So what the company did is they took our basic stone and they covered it, put a finish on it of mica. And mica now makes it a finish that can go in the oven, under the broiler, on the stovetop, in the microwave. So just think about something that could go in the microwave, like this. This is designed for the microwave, but you could never put this on the stovetop, right? You can never put it in the oven. Vice versa, things that you put under the broiler are usually made out of a really heavy metal because they've got to go up to 500 degrees. So I challenge you to think about anything in your kitchen that could do all these things. There's very little that you could think of. So this is called a rock crock. This is the Dutch oven size. And here I want to tell you a couple things that you could do with this. So we already determined that we want to make dinner in a hurry, right? Everyone wants to be in a hurry. So let's look at the cover of your catalog, first of all. See the recipe on there? That was made in a rock crack. Girls, it is so delicious. It's a mac and cheese with shrimp. And before you think, oh, go, it is delicious. If you've ever been to an upscale restaurant, putting seafood and all kinds of things actually in macaroni and cheese is a very on-trend recipe. So that recipe, I think they use the microwave, they use the stovetop, and they use the broiler. And the great thing is you don't have to change vessels. You just start it on one surface, you can move it to another. Now let's think about going like out to the grill. One of my consultants is a big time camper. She said that was the only, she took the smaller one, that's the only thing she took camping with her. Because she could use it on the grill, she could use it in her microwave, in her little, pop-up camper, whatever. She said it worked beautifully. She fried potatoes in it. She used it to make pancakes. Because you can use it as a frying vessel. You can use it for deep frying. You can use it for broiling. One of the best recipes that the girls here that are from Pampered Chef will tell you we're making is a s'more cake. So imagine taking a cake mix, chocolate cake mix, and you mix it up with some sour cream and eggs, and you put it in that pan, and you put it in the microwave. Guess how long it takes to bake? 4 minutes. 4 minutes, it's done. You bring it out, you cover it with marshmallows. Now I'm going to put it under the broiler for 30 seconds, and you know how marshmallows get all toasted when they're on the campfire? That's how they taste. You crumble up some graham crackers and drizzle chocolate Hershey bars on top. It's a killer, killer recipe. So, how many of you always struggle at dinner time trying to figure out what the heck to make for dinner? Is that not one of the worst parts? Joan, you have good recipes, you got them all up here?
It just depends what my day's like.
All right, but you have good ideas on what to make for dinner.
Yeah.
All right, you are the rarity. How many of you just struggle and ask people that you live with, hey, what do you want for dinner? Because you can't think of anything anymore. You're so tired of the same old things. How many of you agree that we have 30 minutes? All right, so if you've got 30 minutes, I can get you in and out of the kitchen in that rock cracker, my deep covered baker. So on the table there, Angela, can you grab that red file there, or that one? This is a file of recipes. You're going to pass it around, sweetie. This is a file of recipes that one of my consultants developed just for the rock crack. They're all going to be dinner recipes that you can get done quickly and easily, including things like, like we're making this pasta today, this soup, but we're not cooking the pasta separately. When we make spaghetti, we cook the pasta right in here, put the sauce in, it all is done all at the same time. I used it for an omelet, and I started the omelet in the microwave, took 12 minutes in the microwave, and then I just threw it in the oven just to give it a little bit of a finish. You're going to absolutely love it, love it. I also have a deep covered baker cookbook. Angela, can you find that one? It's called the deep cover, the second one down. Now this one has 150 recipes that were designed for that stone that you showed us, Katrina. The great thing is that anything you could cook in the deep cover baker, you can now put in the rock crack, because this bad boy can go everywhere. You can't, every recipe that was developed for the rock crack though, you can't use the deep cover baker because you can't put it on the broiler, on the stovetop and all that kind of thing. So to get your rock crack, you can certainly get it tonight. Everybody's buying them. I'm going to send you the recipe file. I'm going to send one home with you for the 30 recipes. You could have a cooking party, and we could get that for you for half price. It makes it really affordable. Just think about this. Even if you just used it once a week, in about a month's time, the thing is paid for if you don't go out to eat one extra night a week. In the month of November, though, when you host a party, guess what? It's 60% off for a host in November. And the same thing is true in December. December hosts, the company's just going to let you pick whatever you want for 60% off. You can make your own special. Things that never go on special, you could have on special in December. So I'm going to show you a couple more products before we're done here tonight. So this was, I'm going to put a few things away. This was the spiral and slice. And just so you know, besides spiral cutting, it also just does regular slicing. You just fill the pockets, you put this insert in, you can fill it with different veggies and just twirl it and it'll slice it, much like my slicer did. I showed you the mix and chop, we looked at that already. I showed you the manual food processor, that's always been a great seller. Don't forget about this. Who remembers what these were called? Salad choppers, absolutely fabulous. All right, I'm sure everybody's got one of these, or 2 or 3 mini serving spatulas. Love that. This is just its baby sister. This is made out of nylon now. It's only $4. Because this is going to be great for all your non-stick pans, like the brownie pan, or your cookware where you want to flip an egg. So I've been having customers buy 3 of these, and for $12 they're getting 3 little scrapers.
I see it, Lori.
Could you see it, honey?
I do.
All right. These are my kitchen shears. Let me show you a couple of these other things. I bring some of my favorite products along. I brought my stainless steel stainless steel bowls along. This is my smallest one. How many of you have a stainless bowl at home? Is it from Pampered Chef? This set?
Yes.
Did you get it at a party?
Yes.
Were you a host?
Yes.
Who was your consultant?
I don't remember.
Good. She's dead. Marna passed away. It was very sudden, very cruel, and now I can be your consultant. But do you love them?
Yes, I do.
Because give them one feature. What makes them better than other stainless bowls that you've had? What feature?
It's got the measuring inside and the pour spout
And this is really important too for holding on for mixing, right? And then I love how the lid pops down, right? Because now you can stack them up, because this is the smallest. Imagine how much bigger the other ones are. They're fabulous. But I don't know if you knew it, but when you put like fruit in stainless and you put it in your fridge, the stainless gets supercharged cold, and it'll stay colder longer, and it will chill your fruit a lot faster. Also, like when you're doing, whipping cream and things, they want you to put it in a very cold bowl. A stainless is a really good pick, or a copper if you had one. There's also silicone on the bottom. So can you find the stainless steel bowl set? Look at how fast you were. So the stainless steel bowl set, it would be a wonderful shower gift, a great wedding gift, but get it for yourself. You're going to love having them. Remember I told you in December you can pick your own special. This bowl set comes down to $33.80 with a catalog or a cooking party in December. So love the stainless steel bowl set.
I love it.
All right, we're going to show you this. This is our new, what is this called?
Kitchen
Kitchen spritzer. Thank you. Anybody have my old one? We had one, an old design. I want to show you this one. How many of you buy cans of Pam? What's in Pam?
Oil, crap.
Oil, about this much air, or this much oil, and then all the rest of that can is compressed air, like you said. There's also butyrol, fluorocarbons, lecithin, other ingredients. This is just pure oil. So imagine this, you buy this, and you never have to buy Pam again. But what you have to do is you fill it up with your favorite oil. This is just a canola. I like to use a canola blend, but you can put olive oil or you could put coconut oil, whatever oil you choose to use. But now you've got to add some air. So you're going to pump it. You got to make sure it's on tight. So you're just pumping air into it like this. Just do it evenly, because it's a great bus developer. Notice the great results I'm getting. And so you want even results. So pump, pump, pump. And then you just spray like this.
Look at that.
And you'll get about a 10 to 15 second spray of nothing but pure oil. When you're done with it for the day, you always want to do this, release the pressure. If you don't, it tends to keep the oil up in the sprayer spout and it might drizzle out. Another thing I want to tell you is never store it in this cupboard, or this cupboard, or this cupboard. Does anyone know why? Heat. The heat, right. Those cupboards tend to be warm because there's usually an exhaust from your oven, or your microwave is making that area warm, and those cupboards should not store oil. They also should not store your spices, Katrina. So could you just change this right here? Oh, that's got to go.
Sure, tell them he cooks.
All right, because tell somebody who cares. Is that what you're telling me pretty much? Tell somebody who gives a rat's. Okay, good. We're going to put a little bit of garlic in here. Just a little garlic powder. Katrina asked me not to use regular garlic.
The garlic press is wonderful.
I know it is.
And she wanted to show it, but I
You wanted
prefer
to show
Nothing
it.
else.
not to use it because I get sick on fresh garlic.
Oh.
The smell of it.
Really. We're going to cut up some fresh basil. And so fresh basil is absolutely delicious. How many of you have ever had like a bruschetta that has basil in it? Basil is good just sprinkled in a salad. So you buy fresh. It's a little bit pricey. And so we're going to use all of this. You kind of put it in a pile and you just kind of roll it like this. This is called making a chiffonade. And then you just take your knife. So I'm going to show you my German steel knives. How many of you have a whole drawer full of knives and not a darn thing will cut anything? I mean, they're all like dull or what have you. You?
No, he made a face because he bumped into the door. But yeah, I do have a whole drawer of knives.
All right, this is what I call my go-to knife. I have 3 of these girls. This is the one knife that I use at home all the time. This is the sign of a good knife. Do you see how it's balanced? When I hold it in my hand, the handle and the blade weigh exactly the same. You don't even have to hold on to it. This is called full tang. The blade goes all the way through the handle. It's made out of German steel. It's forged. So it's not a stainless steel. It's much tougher and stronger than a stainless steel knife. This is the way I learned to cut finely. Because I used to have to cut stuff at parties like this. Like I didn't know any good technique. And I went to a party down in the Detroit area, and one of the customers there after the show said, you might be able to sell more knives if you had better knife skills. Oh, okay, thank you, lady. So anyway, because she'd gone to like a college and learned how to cut with knives. So I made it my mission to figure out a better way to show people. So point your finger on the blade, hold onto the handle real loosely, and then you always keep the point of the knife. You don't lift it up. You just keep the knife and slide, and the knife does all the work for you, especially if you got a nice sharp knife. Okay? So I need you to look in your catalog. Can you find the forged cutlery for me?
Forged cutlery is on page 26 and 27.
Okay, let's look at the forged cutlery. because this is my lifetime warranty, best of the best. You know, everybody says, well, we sell these knives, which I'll tell you about, but they say, well, what's the difference? Well, you know, you can drive a good old Chevy, or you could drive a Lexus, and you can tell, you know, they both get you where you want to go, but there's a huge difference in quality. So this is the Lexus of our knives, or the Mercedes-Benz. This one does not have full tang. The blade ends about there. It's a lot lighter. This kind of knife would be good for my everyday cook that's making ramen noodles. These are the ones I want you to consider getting, even if you just got one tonight and get this one. We call this a try-me piece. But do you see the set on the right-hand page? There's a knife block, there's 9 knives, there's my kitchen shears in there, there's the honing tool. This is a fabulous set to get to have on your cupboard. It's worth $5.35. We always sell it for $4.25. If you were to host a party in October yet, have a catalog party. Well, tomorrow's the last day of the month. Well, how about in December then? It's 60% off, $174. I booked tons of parties to get that knife block set for $174, and Katrina would get it at your party for $174 too, even if it's just a catalog party, okay? I just want to show you these. You've got to think about getting some good knives like this. All right, we're going to do a few more products. We're going to wrap up, we're going to be done. The can opener, I'm going to put that away, don't forget that. We'll put the simple slicer down. And when you have a party with me, I take all the dirties home so you're not having to do dishes after I leave, so that's a good thing. I brought 2 of my scrapers along. How many of you know what our scrapers are made out of?
Silicone?
Silicone is correct. We're in Midland, we should know that because they make silicone in Midland. But who knows what silicone will do for your scrapers? What will they never do? What's one of the features? Does anybody know? What, honey?
They won't crack.
They don't crack with age.
Never melt.
They don't melt, because if you've ever had a rubber or plastic scraper melt in something hot, that is not a pretty sight. The one-piece construction, the heads don't pop up. How many of you ever had that lovely experience mixing up brownies and the head falls off and you're pulling it out, you know? So these are my new ones. These are called a mini mix and scraper. These are the perfect size for small hands, but also for small jobs, and also for that manual food processor that I showed you. Okay, so those are some of our scrapers. Our batter bowl was redesigned just ever so slightly. I know a lot of you probably have a batter bowl. Who has one? These have been in the line, again, for 30-some years. A few changes. I don't know if they're that easy to pick out. Can you see any of the changes to it? What's one change to the design? They stack. That's right, because the handles no longer are closed. It's an open handle, so that you can stack in another bowl. The lid, they've made it a little bit more user-friendly. There's a little tab to help pull that off. You know, your old one is going to be perfectly good, or just give that to one of your kids and grab this one. This is the 2-quart size. This is just my everything mixing bowl. You know, brownies, cake mixes, storage, all that kind of good thing. So that's the large one. We've got a small one too. All right, let me check my soup. Just got to get my pasta to be cooked through. Can you smell it? No, no? All right, we're going to wrap up then. So let me find out, first of all, what was one thing that you saw tonight that you sort of liked? So let me do this, because I brought these chocolates, so I've got to use them. Just wait for it.